services and those kind of supplies. According to the Israeli sources, those supplies should go directly to the UNRWA warehouses. That was coordinated through the Egyptian Red Crescent Society with the Palestinian Red Crescent Society. There are, at the other side of the Egyptian border, around 84 truckloads waiting with around 3,000 tons of aid and supplies. The Israeli authorities approved only the ones that have water and food supplies. They did not allow the one that has fuel, and which is indicative of the fact that they are still blockading Gaza.
This is the last of the to get in. 20 is not enough, but this is the initial agreement by the US and Israel. Now Egypt is pushing to add, while the hundreds of trucks that are waiting in Rafah to go inside and unload their
Today, 20 trucks were allowed to move across the border, all containing emergency supplies, 3 of which were WFP trucks, I'm happy to say, containing life-saving food on board. What we plan to do is distribute that, but this cannot be the last convoy. We need to have sustained, safe access to be able to get our trucks across the border so that we can feed the millions of people that are depending on emergency food.
يا حبيبي فاتك فاتك بتمشي يا فاتك. علم اي
Today we were able to include 2 UNICEF trucks in the convoy with drinking water, 40,000 litres. It's a drop in the ocean, literally almost, and that will allow us to reach about 27,000 people with 1 day's supply of drinking water. So very, very, very small amount went through today. So which means and reinforces the urgent need to have a sustained humanitarian corridor that is open for supplies. And of course, we hope that there will be additional border posts opening so that the necessary supplies can get in. We have quite a good pipeline of water and water systems equipment, medicine and health systems equipment, and a number of other items for specialized for child protection and child care. We have, I think, 12 trucks loaded on standby at the border that can be crossed over in a matter of hours the next time it opens. And we have a pipeline sort of coming in by plane and by truck from Cairo and from international destinations with more medical supplies, more water systems supplies. These are the kind of priorities because we know that the priorities in Gaza right now are water, food, medicine, and fuel. And so that we are prioritizing our pipeline accordingly. So, for example, we have 1 million bottles. We have 1 million bottles of drinking water in the pipeline ready. Just for example, so we have big quantities of the necessary materials. We just need the corridor to be open for a sustained, continuous, on a sustained, continuous basis. We know that the authorities and the different parties are continuing to discuss how to manage this border in a more sustainable way, and we have every hope that they will do so. I think the details will become clear as they become clear. I want to first recognize that we have a very dedicated team of UNICEF State of Palestine staff in Gaza who've been working day and night under terrible, terrible conditions to deliver assistance. So the assistance has been ongoing since the beginning, and of course prior to this particular terrible round of conflict. So I know that our colleagues in Gaza have been reprovisioning the health centers with pre-positioned medical supplies, keeping some of the water systems running. I know we're down to 5% of the normal capacity, but there are some water systems running. The only desalination plant that's still going is done so with UNICEF support. So our colleagues, we need to pay tribute to them, are doing a fantastic job in Gaza. Now, what we know about the evolving needs is there are 1 million people displaced. We know that at least 300,000 children are displaced. That means they have no home right now, or they're not at home. And that means that the humanitarian needs are extremely urgent. What does that mean in practice? So, for example, according to international standards, each person should have 50 liters of water to live in health and dignity. That's drinking and washing and cooking and everything else. Right now, it's down to a little less than 3 liters of water per person. That's what's available right now in Gaza. So we have these kind of needs, and we know how to respond. We simply need the corridor to be open so that we can respond. What went in today cannot cover the needs at all. It's a very tiny proportion of what is needed. So we need to have, instead of 20 trucks per day, at least 100, 200 trucks going in per day. That's just, it of course depends what's on the trucks, but approximately speaking, with food, water, medicine, and fuel. That is a necessary condition for us to be able to respond to the humanitarian life-saving requirements and needs right now. It is going to be challenging. We need to deliver. We have the humanitarian imperative, which is driving us. At the same time, we do call for a cessation of hostilities immediately, of course. That is the only way that we can actually deliver safely. But at the same time, we also call on the parties to the conflicts to avoid any targeting of health and education facilities, which allows us to deliver the aid safely to the health facilities and everywhere that they are needed. And we also remind the parties that health staff need to be protected in order to carry out their mandate.
ما وصل اليوم شيء بسيط يسير، ما رأيناه هو قافلة شاحنة أو شاحنتين فقط تحتوي على مهمات طبية. لا نعلم هذه الأصناف ولا نعلم جودتها. يتم التنسيق الآن مع الأونروا لتسلمها طبعا توزيعها على مرافق الوزارة إذا كانت هناك استخدام عاجل لها. احنا نأمل من كافة أحرار العالم بفتح ممر آمن وإسعاف وزارة الصحة بالقوافل الطبية التي تحتوي على الأدوية والمهمات الطبية والمستهلكات والأجهزة التي يحتاجها القطاع الصحي في إدارة حالة الطوارئ وتقديم وإسعاف الجرحى والمصابين في كافة مرافق وزارة الصحة على مختلف محافظات غزة.
عزاوي يا شباب عشان كله يصور يا شباب. تعال روح محمد.